Now I'd like to ask you both the question. Simon, you can answer first. What can we do as a country or in independent groups to help curb the poaching rate that's happening in South Africa right now?
I think there's a number of things that can be done. One of the most important things to understand is that there's not going to be one single solution that's going to suddenly stop the poaching. It's going to have to be kind of fought on all various levels, and that goes from the field rangers out in the field, protecting the rhinos, right through to addressing the demand in these Asian countries and trying to reduce that, and then everything in between, which is the transport of the horn, legislation in the two different countries, ensuring that we prosecuting people properly that are dealing in rhino horn. So I think it's this whole kind of suite of actions that need to take place and that need to be addressed, and that's the only way we're really going to be able to button it down.
Yeah, I think I'd have a very similar perspective to Simon. I think it needs a suite of different actions in different areas. The Rhino program at WWF focuses on 5 key pillars that we think are important. So that's growing rhino populations and helping them be well protected. And this is exemplified by the Black Rhino Range Expansion Project, which has been running in KZN for the last 10 years, creating new populations of black rhinos to help boost the growth rate to keep more rhinos being born. We need to think more about the people, about the communities who live around rhinos, to engage them back in wildlife, to make sure that they're benefiting from wildlife. And this is only going to become increasingly important over time. I think at a national level, we need to support law enforcement authorities in the judicial process. Make sure that the best possible forensic tools are available, make sure that intelligence is being well used and shared. We're also focusing on improving bilateral cooperation, so between South Africa and the other key countries in the trade chain. Here, primarily Mozambique, we know a lot of the horn from Kruger is going over the border into Mozambique and then swiftly into Asia. We need to be acting on that. But ultimately, as Simon has said, this war will be won in Asia, not in Africa. We need to work with the consumers there. As a final point, I think what is becoming increasingly clear to everyone is that what we're dealing with here is transnational organized syndicated crime. The kind of people who've set up illicit supply chains to move weapons, to move drugs, have moved into rhino horn and ivory and a growing range of other wildlife species. And that's the level at which we need to be fighting this.